Do you guys skip TV intros? Like when you're binge watching a show or even if you're checking out something new, like do you skip the intro when it gives you the option or do you let it play through?
Most times. I mean, in the beginning if I'm watching it for the first time, in the first couple episodes, I'm listening a little, but not.
I absolutely listen to the theme songs. Like anytime we were all into Game of Thrones, it feels so long ago, doesn't it? You have to let that theme song play. You can't skip the Game of Thrones theme
But remember
song.
when you couldn't skip songs?
Like you physically
At
couldn't
all?
skip
You just
them?
had to listen through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've been watching The Crown, right? And that theme song just drags. And so I'm always skipping it because I'm like, I don't need to be put to sleep at the beginning of the episode. But then we've also been binging The Simpsons. And we were talking the other night, like it should be against the law to skip The Simpsons introduction.
You have to watch they change the intro.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Bart on the chalkboard.
Uh-huh.
You got to see what
Yeah, and the couch gag.
kind of trouble. Yeah, exactly.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was like, is The Simpsons my favorite TV show theme song? Like, and then I was like, I love the opening, but I don't know if it's my favorite
The actual song.
I think, I don't know, what is the best TV show
Okay.
theme song?
I have 3 favorites. One of them, obviously, is the Buffy theme song. I just think it's so cool. It's by this band called Nerf Herder.
Yeah, Nerve Herder.
Yeah. And
That's some like
Yep.
classic
I
late 90s.
always
pop
listen
punk.
to that theme song. And I always like make my dog listen to because her name's Buffy. And I'm like, it's your song. The second one is the OC theme song.
Is that Phantom Planet?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I had that song on just my iPod and I would just listen to it all the way through. The entire song is so good. It's called California.
It's a good
I'm
one.
not going to sing it, but it's really good. Number 1 theme song for me is the iZombie theme song. It is by a band called Dead Boy and the Elephant Men. And the whole thing is just like, stop, I'm already dead. And it's rock, it's indie, it's so good. It's that one of those theme songs where I would like sing it obnoxiously in my living room every time it came on.
Nice.
See, I started with 2, and then as you kept saying yours, I was like, oh wait, there's other shows that I like.
Yeah.
But my original 2 are both on the same network. It's Keenan and Kel's with Coolio and
Yes.
all that.
TLC.
That performed by TLC. Yeah. And
I forgot about those.
I love those. And then I also thought just now while listening, the True Blood one. Do you know? The True Blood one? Something.
Was that copyright?
I don't even think I was close.
We can't even copyright that. It was
Well, then Peep Show. You guys ever heard of Peep Show? It's like a UK show. It's the entire show it's called Peep Show because the perspective is just like first person of the
interesting.
character of like the characters. It's really interesting.
Is it sexy?
It
I know
could
that's
be,
what it
yeah.
sounds
Like
like.
it sounds a little sexy.
Or
And
creepy.
The jokes
Or
could
creepy.
be no. I mean, it's like this boring guy who like lives with this DJ, and it's funny.
Nice.
Peep Show.
Okay. All right. See, I feel like if Nicole was here, she'd say Friends for sure.
Absolutely.
And or I think she'd throw in Law and Order SVU because it's kind of iconic.
Do they even have a theme song?
Yeah, like so people have been like twerking to like the Law and Order SVU theme song on like TikTok and
Why
stuff.
did I think this theme song was just dun dun?
Right. I mean, that's definitely part of it.
You know, I
Yeah.
kind of got the urge to just
I'm
drop it
telling-
low.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a
Like
vibe.
my booty's kind of shaking in
It's
my
a
seat
vibe.
a little bit.
Solve crimes, twerk it out.
Why is it slappo?
But I think my personal favorite has to either be Halt and Catch Fire, which I know I've talked about. And it's just like this 80s kind of techno, like synth track
Okay.
that plays. And it just, I don't know, it like takes you into the world of being in like 1980s Silicon Valley developing technology kind of thing. And then the other one, of course, is the X-Files.
Oh, iconic.
Yeah, totally iconic. I mean, they still played at like Halloween parties and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
put it on Halloween
definitely
playlists for
pretty
sure.
vibe.
Yeah, definitely. And when we cosplay as Mulder and Scully, we will just like have it playing out of like one of our pockets. So everywhere we go, we've just got our own little theme song. It's cool.
Coming in hot from Olympus Games in Mesa, Arizona.
It's the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things pop culture. We are back with another week of reviews and news. And as always, we've got the Pop Culture Junkies here, your resident pop culture experts, ready to school you in all things pop culture. That sounds rude. Did that sound rude?
Well, we're going to school the F out of these noobs
Ready?
right now.
I'm definitely not an expert, but
Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves for anybody who might be tuning in for the first time. I am Hayley.
This is Alex.
I'm Shauna.
And this week we are missing our other junkie, Nicole. She is off doing adventurous things, and we wish her the best of luck and look forward to having her back with us next week.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to hold down the fort for her in her absence. And we're going to start out, like we usually do, with some reviews. So here at Pop Culture Junkie, we like to check out what's new, what's notable in streaming, in music, in anything pop culture media, and then let you guys know if this is something that you should pop, meaning you should check it out and spend some time listening to it or watching it. Or consuming, yes, consuming it in some variety. Or if you should drop it, meaning don't waste your time. And of course, if we're kind of in the middle, then we'll let you know and we'll hot potato it. And so we're going to start out by just talking about what did you guys watch this week? What did you listen to? What do the people need to know? And what should they skip?
All right. I mean, I have a few things that I've been paying attention to this week. And one of them is Awkwafina, is Nora from Queens.
I love Awkwafina.
It's on Comedy Central, and season 2 just started. There's a few episodes as of now, and it reminds me actually of Dave. I know I've talked about it here, as well as like Insecure with Issa Rae.
Okay,
yeah.
Like it's like a little convo between the two, and it's kind of just like millennials trying to figure out how to be adults.
Okay.
Oh God, I don't need to experience this. This is my everyday life.
That's what I'm saying. So,
goodness.
it makes you feel less bad for not doing things, for not adulting the right way.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's funny. It's quirky. And if you like Awkwafina, I'd definitely recommend to pop it. Another thing I watched this week was Vacation Friends.
I saw that on my Hulu screen, and I wasn't sure. So I'm interested to hear your opinion on this.
All right, yeah. I mean, so it stars John Cena, Lil Rel, Meredith Hagner, and Yvonne Orji.
Okay.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Orgy?
Orji?
That's sure.
Oh,
enough.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her.
But two couples on a retreat. One couple's getting ready for a proposal. The other couple's just there for a vacation. And then, universes clash and they spend their vacation together. And so.
Do they have an orgy?
I don't want to.
Oh.
I guess something.
Vacation Friends.
Something
with
happened in the
benefits.
beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for
things got a
everybody.
little
All
freaky.
right.
And so they were like, all right. So one couple was like, okay, this is it. Vacation's over. Never have to talk to these guys again. And then the other couple, like, they think they just made best
Nice.
friends. Yeah. And so the one couple, Lil Rel and Yvonne, they were getting married. And so then somehow 7 months later, John Cena and Meredith show up at their wedding uninvited and pretty much cause a whole commotion.
Okay.
Wedding
crashers.
Yeah,
Is it funny?
It is fun. It's funny. Yeah. It's funny. There's definitely
I'm
jokes.
very convinced. It's funny. It's funny.
It kind of gave me like Hangover funny.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like slapstick fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's all about sex, drugs, and mistakes.
Okay.
That sums up my life.
Millennials trying to figure out life. We're sensing a theme.
Sex, drugs, and mistakes.
Yes.
All at the same time.
Yeah. So pop Vacation Friends if you're down for, a nice little laugh for an evening. And the other thing that I've been consuming
A little bit of news this week in the Alex front.
is, as you may suspect, Donda. It finally was released, the whole official album. And I love this album. It's very personal. It talks about his like marriage, his family, justices in the Black community, and even like battling like depression and like suicidal thoughts. He really gets into his life and puts it in his music. And even the production is really good.
He collaborated with Jay-Z again on this album, right?
Yeah, it was like the
Did
first time in a long
Yeah.
time. I mean, they did Watch the Throne together, and then there was like this
Watch
beef.
the Throne.
Yeah, that was a good one. But there's like Watch the Throne vibes in here, but also like poppy, sort of like college dropout vibes, some like trap vibes, and like, of course, kind of like that Jesus is King kind of vibes, like the gospel kind of.
So it's like a mix of pretty much everything he's put out.
The track list is really long, so
I was about to say like how many tracks?
I think it's
are on
like
this album?
24.
Oh, geez.
Dang, yeah, 27.
And he's still not cussing in his songs, right?
He like says the N-word a few times, but the album wasn't released like with like an explicit advisory
Oh.
tag on it.
Yeah.
So it is censored, but that doesn't really take away from the experience. I was still like able to enjoy it. And like I feel like if you're looking for like art or like a reflection of life through like Kanye's experience and perspective, obviously because Kanye, then pop Donda.
Okay. I've heard pretty much nothing but good things about it online, so I may have to check it out.
Cool.
I have a hot take, but I'll save it.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, sure. I'm excited to hear about it.
Shauna, what have you been watching?
So recently, I think I talked about how I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes.
So I guess I'm on this like old vampire movie that everybody else watched 30 years ago. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll give it a whirl. So I watched Interview with the Vampire with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise recently. This was the most homoerotic experience of my life. Well, it was the top 3 homoerotic experiences of my life. My best friend's listening and she's like, really? But oh my God, the entire time it was just Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise inches from each other's faces. Just like, kiss. Come on, guys, just
And
kiss.
they're very like pretty.
They're
because
so
they've got long hair,
pretty.
they've got makeup.
They've got soft, translucent vampire skin and long nails.
Fluffy collared
Yes.
shirts.
And there's just so much tension of like, I want you. Why don't you want me?
I remember watching this a while ago. It's Brad Pitt who becomes a vampire or something.
Yeah, so Tom Cruise sires Brad Pitt, turns him into a vampire. But then, I mean, okay, I loved this movie. I thought it was
It's
super
good.
enjoyable.
Yes, I remember, yeah.
But then Kirsten Dunst shows up. She's fabulous in this movie. She's a great little
She's
actress.
little.
She's
so
so
young.
little.
Yeah.
But it got like a little creepy then.
Mhm.
I mean, they always kind of made it clear that she would call Louis, Brad Pitt's character, like, you're my father.
Mhm.
Like, but then it showed her, I don't know, like crawling into his coffin a lot and like spooning
I
him.
forgot you. Okay, I was
And
like,
I'm
wait,
like,
she was there,
is
and I
this
forgot
like
she was
a
the
daddy
child,
daughter
yeah.
or like a daddy daughter? Like,
Yeah. She like didn't understand boundaries. She became like kind of obsessed with him. I remember. Yeah.
and like he was obsessed with her too, though, but like in what way? And then at a certain point, she's like 300 years old, but she's still a little baby.
Oh.
She's like 11. So.
Yeah, that's right. She became a vampire too. Right?
Yep, they turned her
wow.
into a vampire. So overall, I really liked it. That was a little, but like, I don't know. I thought it was super gay and ridiculous, and those are my favorite things in pop culture.
I remember like when that came out, which it was like mid 90s, right?
Yeah.
So I couldn't have been older than 10 years old. I'm pretty sure I was younger. I'm pretty sure I was like 8. And I remember being like in my room and my mom goes, "We're having family movie night. Come watch a movie." And I'm like, okay. So I come into the living room and it's Interview with a Vampire. And my mom was obsessed with it. She was obsessed with Tom Cruise. She was obsessed with Anne Rice, like had read all of her novels. And she's like, "You're going to watch this because it's cinema." And I'm like, "Mom, I don't want to. It's scary." And
There's
she's
a
like,
little bit of
"It's good."
violence.
Yeah, it's a
blood.
little grotesque for an 8-year-old, maybe.
There's blood and breasts.
There is, yes. And I remember like being very like,
two most important bees.
my delicate sensibilities. But now as an adult, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of glad she made me watch it because it's
Right?
good. Yeah.
We're all about blood and boobies here now. I also watched a documentary on Hulu called The Orange Years. And it's funny that you mentioned Kenan and Kel and all that because that's like, it's about Nickelodeon. So it's about kind of like the rise and not really fall, but just like those peak golden years, quote, the orange years of Nickelodeon. So it was really good. I definitely pop it if you were a Nickelodeon kid growing up. Like my husband and I watched it together and the entire time we're like, oh yeah, that show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that show. Like it talks about
Figure It Out. Did they talk about Figure It Out?
They didn't, but
That
they
was one of my
talked about
jams.
like how like those very early shows. So like Hey Dude, Salute Your Shorts, Double Dare. And then they moved into like when Nickelodeon first started doing cartoons, and their first 3 were Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, and Doug. And then they did Rocko's Modern Life and just kind of like, opened Nick Studios at Universal Studios Orlando. So I don't know. I really liked it. It was super nostalgic. They talk about Kenan and Kel, and they have a lot of celebrity interviews. It did come out a couple of years ago, so Drake Bell pops up for an interview, and I was like, ew.
Yeah. Gross.
But all the other celebrity guests are delightful. They have, Kenan on there, Kel's on there, the girl from Secret World of Alex Mack, and like Melissa Joan Hart's on there. So
I love that. Have you guys ever been to the park?
I have, yeah.
Have you ever tried the slime or been slimed?
I have never been slimed. God, I would love
That's like
to
a
be
dream,
slimed.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I went and before it shut down because it's gone now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, right? When I was a teenager, I went with my family.
See,
cool.
did it do like nostalgic documentaries ever make you sad? Because sometimes I like watch stuff like that and it like gets me really in my feels. Because I was like a hardcore Rugrats stan
Mhm.
before I knew what like, a stan was. And so like sometimes I watch stuff like that and I'm like, oh man, now I feel like depressed about being old. Like, I don't know. Like I saw a TikTok the other day of apparently in Tucson, there is an abandoned Lisa Frank factory.
Yeah, that's where Lisa Frank used to be headquartered in
Yeah.
Tucson.
Who's Lisa Frank?
What? You
Oh.
would know if we showed you. It's like
Yeah.
those notebooks that every little girl in the 90s had. And they were just like pops of bright neon colors. And there's lots of unicorns and tigers. And
But there was like a lot of controversies surrounding her
Oh, yeah.
and like
Mhm.
the way that she ran things and like
yeah.
I don't know.
Just
I was-
unjust labor practices and stuff and like running people to
Crazy
the
stuff.
bone. Like,
yeah. So it's like I don't know. Sometimes I see stuff like that and I'm like, man, my childhood is ruined.
Do you think like Nicole would like feel the same way about the orange years? I wish she was here to ask. Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole, did you watch Nickelodeon or was that before? Or
You know,
before
I
your
don't
time?
know because a lot of it would definitely be before she was
Yeah.
born. She would have no idea. But then, like, I mean, obviously she knows SpongeBob and like,
well, in Nickelodeon, I mean, it's still kicking. Like
Oh,
my
for
my
sure.
daughter watches Henry Danger.
Didn't
and
iCarly just come back?
iCarly,
And like an
yeah.
adult now? We talked about
Yeah.
this, did we?
Yeah,
I watch like previews for it and people are like getting drunk and going on dates
I was
and stuff.
confused.
I know. My daughter's like, can I watch the iCarly reboot? I'm like, I don't think you can. I think you have to be grown up.
I don't think you're going to understand what's going on. I don't even understand what's
This
going
is on
on.
Nickelodeon, right?
I think
It's
it's on
on-
Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount
Okay.
Plus.
Yeah.
But I guess that's all part of the same thing, right?
The last thing that I watched this week is this week's episode of What If. And
This was the Nick Fury, Agent Coulson,
Yes.
Avengers Are All Killed episode.
yes, I.
I mean, I kind of got the chills listening to Hayley like describe it, but you grunting.
God, I mean,
Okay, what were your thoughts? I liked it, so I'm curious.
I liked it too. But God, it just pisses me off. Okay, I know, and I'm going to totally contradict myself because in the first episode, I'm like, Sebastian Stan sucked as a voice actor. But now I'm like, really, you couldn't get the voice actors? Like,
Yeah.
people still are in Marvel contracts. Like Scarlett Johansson, I understand. But like some of the other actors, I'm like, you're still a current Marvel actor. Why couldn't you show up to do this?
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
Brie Larson, that wasn't her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And overall, I thought it was good. It was cool. Like, I think I liked it more than the first episode. Black Panther one's still my favorite, but that's probably just because I was in my feels.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it. I agree. Like, it was a little jarring. It made sense that Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't be back, but it was a little weird hearing someone else as Tony
Yeah.
Stark. And I was surprised, actually. I was like, man, I'm pulling up the cast because I'm like,
Oh, me
who
too.
are these yahoos?
That's me the whole time I watched the show. I'm so distracted.
But the best part was that I was like, who's this fool playing Hawkeye? And then I pull it up and it's freaking Jeremy Renner. I was
Oh, wait.
wait a second. This is actually him. What the heck? Yeah, so that was weird. That kind of took me out. But I
Yeah.
liked the premise of, what would happen if the original 6 were killed.
Yeah. Kind of depressing.
It was depressing. There was a good twist at the end. Like, I
Yeah,
didn't see
yeah.
any of that coming. Although it totally made sense. Once it happened, I was like, well, I'm an idiot
Yeah.
for not seeing that. But yeah, and then the new episode is all about Doctor Strange.
Which is not going to be Benedict Cumberbatch.
Nope.
Do I want to watch 40 minutes of cartoon Marvel Doctor Strange, but it's not
I know.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Who is Doctor Strange?
Exactly.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm a huge Marvel fan, but I'm gonna feel itchy about it.
It's true. Yeah, itchy is a good
Just made me
descriptor.
a little itchy.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Good call. Well, I, jumped on the watching old vampire movies bandwagon, but I went the opposite direction and watched Twilight this weekend. And I decided, when Twilight originally all came out, I was so angry at how it developed and how poorly the story ended and just all of the bad writing choices. But now, whatever, 15 years later,
Oh
like
my God, 15.
going back in and knowing how bad it is and approaching it like a comedy, it's actually really enjoyable to watch because I'm
Okay.
just laughing the whole time.
Which one did you just watch? Like the first one? Then?
Just the first one.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the only one I've ever seen.
Oh well, we're gonna run the gamut. We're gonna go through the whole.
Yeah, I remember
thing.
you being very excited when
Yes.
you mentioned it was on Netflix.
Yeah, and I finally convinced my husband. I was like, "You don't even have to pay attention. Let's just Let's just turn it on. So,
Experience this with me.
but yeah, so pop Twilight if you want a stupid movie to laugh at.
So it's actually that funny because it was like a crazy, like deep drama back in the day.
And that's why it's funny because it's not. It's not.
It
like,
takes itself too seriously.
Okay.
For
way
sure.
too. I mean, the scene where he's like standing in the sun and his skin is glittering and he looks like he's like constipated and he's like, "This is what vampires look like." Like, if you can't laugh at that,
I always love the memes. He's like, "You know what I am? Say it.
say it. A silly goose.
A silly goose."
Is that an actual line?
No,
Okay.
it's a meme.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Alex is like, "What?"
But
course
it's
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 comedy.
on
Close
par.
enough.
It's
Yeah.
on par with like as stupid as it is. So
I feel like
it's-
that'd be a great movie to have a drinking game.
That's what I was
too.
gonna say. I was like, Alex, like get drunk and watch Twilight,
Like,
and
every
you'll
time they
fully
say
appreciate it.
vampire, take
Yeah.
a sip.
Totally.
Anytime Edward broods.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's just something so romantic about a guy who is hundreds and hundreds of years old stalking a high school full of minors and then telling a girl how he wants to eat her.
I mean, my favorite show is
Wait, like,
Buffy.
actually?
So
Eat
Yes.
like flesh.
Like devour. Yes.
like vampire eat, not
Like vampire eat, but
Hannibal
like,
eat.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, put her in his mouth in a non-sexy way. Yeah.
Correct. Oh my gosh. Twilight. Now I'm getting hyped to watch New Moon, the next one. Other than that,
7, right? Or something like that?
there's 5.
That's excessive.
Because there were 4 books and then they split the last book into 2 movies.
Yeah, that's right.
5 too many.
That was a thing for a while.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Get more money.
Money.
Other than that, I checked out Cruella. I know, Alex, you had watched Cruella.
Yeah.
We had
One
family
of the best
movie
movies
night.
of the year.
It just came
my
on Disney
opinion.
Plus, so now you can watch it for free or for your Disney Plus fee. But I liked it. I've watched all the like live action Disney movies, and like Maleficent was terrible. Aladdin, I really liked.
That's how you pronounce it. This whole time I'm like, Maleficent?
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable there, Alex.
Malfeasance. Yeah. Maleficent. But I would put it under Aladdin. I'd put it above Maleficent. I will pop it. I will say it's worth watching. I don't see how Cruella 2 is going to exist because at that point it should just be 101 Dalmatians.
Right.
So I'm very confused.
But no one wants to watch a movie about skinning puppies.
Yeah, and
no
I
one
mean,
gonna watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I
When
don't know.
watched it, I watched Cruella and then I watched the live action 101
Okay.
Dalmatians.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they were attempting to like make Cruella sympathetic or likable. I felt like she was neither.
She's not a puppy skinner.
I mean, she is.
Is she?
But the puppies killed her mom. Spoiler, the puppies killed her mom. So
Oh my God.
and they're so, but it never says that she skins more than the one puppy.
The murder puppy.
The murder puppy.
I
I
don't
don't
even
know.
think in the movie she actually skins any.
Does she?
I don't think so.
remember.
I
She
think
just makes a coat out
yeah.
of them.
You know,
Well, not- I don't
that
think
would
it was them.
require skinning.
Well, no, she makes a Dalmatian coat, but I don't know. It doesn't show anything. I think it just implies. Because at one point, the boss lady who owns the dog's like, she killed my dog. But then the dogs come back. So
Yeah,
I don't really
exactly.
know. I don't know.
there's all these
They
mysterious
mentioned
dogs.
it. Like, one of her like dudes was like, "Did you actually kill her
Oh,
dogs?"
okay.
And she was like, "I'm not crazy."
But I mean, she is crazy because she kidnaps
Also
dogs
true.
in 101 Dalmatians.
I'm
So-
just gonna. Never mind.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's delightful.
Yeah, I liked it well enough. I wasn't mad that I watched it, but I wouldn't necessarily watch it a second time. So, other than that, I've got music recommendations. So, for anybody who likes pop punk, again, going back to nostalgia, if you are an elder emo who misses some, Newfound Glory and Blink 182, definitely check out a band called Grayscale. They just put out their 3rd full studio album called Umbra, and they're going on tour. They're actually coming to Tucson in November. Girlfriends is opening up for them, and I love this album. They really have continued to morph pop punk as a genre and add in. We've got like a full like orchestra on this album. A choir comes in. So they're really taking a genre that has often been like confined to one specific sound and are like expanding it beyond that. So
Nice.
I really enjoyed that. And then other than that, I just got to, give a shout out to a concert I went to this last week.
You went to a concert.
I did.
How was
Wow.
it? Tell me.
People
Tell me how it was.
It was glorious. My first concert since 2018.
Oh my
2019. Yeah, first concert since 2019, and it was so fun. I saw Echo, which you guys know is like one of the a handful of like rap and hip hop artists that I listened to. And he was great. He was awesome.
Yeah, I like Echo. I listen to him. I feel like Echo's like one of those like lyricists that incorporate storytelling.
Nice.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like some people like do like storytelling and incorporate lyricism. Like Kanye, I feel like he does that.
Yeah.
And then there's people that do both, like Jay-Z. That's what to me he's
Yes. Yeah. Totally. And I like, Echo has this thing that he calls heart hop, which is like, the story and like the emotion behind it. And he tries to like rap with his heart on his sleeve. And I feel like it makes a lot of his songs really relatable. And then he also has like, he raps about geeky stuff too, like Mandalorian.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
Marvel
I'm gonna have
stuff.
to listen to him. That sounds interesting.
So that was great. So I'm going to pop everything related to Echo, and his show he was just as good live. He was probably better live than he is listening on his albums. But his opening acts, okay. He had this opening act. I won't go over all of them, but he had this one opening act named Andrew Thomas. And if I have to drop anything in my life, I am dropping Andrew Thomas. It has got to be the worst.
That sounds like violence.
Oh,
I'm dropping
I'll drop
kicking
him.
this guy.
I will drop kick him. I will throw hands. No, I'm sure he's a nice dude. His music
I'm
was
gonna kick your ass.
awful.
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
His music was just so bad. Like we're standing there and I'm looking over at my husband like, get me out of here.
Oh, no.
This cannot be over soon enough. And the only way I can describe his music, because I don't even know what it was. I don't know if it was pop. I don't know if it was like country. There was some like weird synth piano stuff going on in the background. The only way I can describe it is there was this like kind of gross, greasy dude in the front. He was filming the whole thing, and he had like one of those like really wide tank tops, so you could just like see his like hairy
See
chest.
his nipples
and-
from the side.
Yes.
Oh,
So
What did you say?
wait, what did you say?
I was like, people still wear tank tops.
I'm in a tank top.
Haley's literally wearing a tank top.
I know. The difference is you cannot see
Your hairy
my
nipples.
hairy nipples. Not saying they aren't there.
Leave that up to the imagination.
So this, you gotta leave them wondering. No, so this guy in the front, he's filming this Andrew Thomas guy's whole set, and it's over, and he turns around and he leans over to this girl next to him, and he goes, "Those songs would be great for the strip club.
Oh, ew.
They'd be perfect." And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's right though." Like it sounded like a bad soundtrack.
Not that there's anything wrong with being at a strip club
No,
or being a
not
stripper.
at all.
But
But
Like,
is it like
if that's
twerking strip club?
But you know what I mean? Like Desert Flame type. Like
Yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere, and you're like wondering kind of like what's going on in there. There's never cars in the parking lot, and this is on the soundtrack. You know what I mean?
I just got the Dusk Till Dawn George Clooney strip club running through my head.
Oh my gosh. Andrew Thomas would be playing in that strip club. So I feel like you need to check him out just so you know what I'm talking about. But picture like a guy in a jungle shirt with neck tattoos singing some weird synth pop country and then never listen to him ever again.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take your word and drop that. Gonna drop that hard.
Oh my gosh, it was not good. But yes, it was great being back at a concert, and looking forward to a bunch of new concerts coming later this year. Hi, I'm Hayley the Brave, teacher and mom by day, cosplayer and pop culture junkie by, well, also by day. I'm obsessed with all things fandom, and I love to talk about it. So join me and some of my friends as we geek out about TV, movies, music, and all the awesome things that make life worth living. Listen to my podcast, 30 Nerdy and Thriving, available now on all major streaming platforms. All right, guys, what has been happening in the news that people need to know about? I feel like it was like a little bit of a slow news week, but there are some like
I agree.
some stuff that people shouldn't miss.
So something that I did see that was interesting this week. JoJo Siwa, she is I think she was on Dance Moms. She's
Yeah.
got this entire brand of little girls who just scream and go crazy for her.
Yeah, my daughter is obsessed with
Yeah, and I don't even, is she an actress? Is she a dancer? Is she a singer?
her. She started on Dance Mom, so she's been a dancer, and then
So she was the
She's
the
a little
dance
girl.
mom, or
she was like the girl.
She's the
Oh,
daughter.
okay.
Yeah, she's the little
like
girl.
18 now, I think.
I think, yeah, she just had her 18th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like blended that into like music. She was on The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
And then she has made little kid movies.
My God, she's
and-
got cereal. She's got clothing. She's got shoes. Like,
Mhm.
she's ridiculous. She is going to be on season 30 of Dancing with the Stars. And for the first time, she is going to be dancing with a same-sex partner. So JoJo Siwa is, I'm not sure if she identifies as a lesbian or as bisexual, but she's identifies as queer in some way.
Yeah.
And she's going to be dancing with a girl. I think she's got a girlfriend. So thought that was pretty
she came
cool.
out like on Instagram or TikTok like earlier this year. And yeah, that's pretty cool. The first time that they've done that on Dancing with the Stars.
30 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, my goodness. And so I'm interested. I feel like I've never watched Dancing with the Stars, but I might watch her on YouTube a little bit because she's already an incredible dancer.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to watch her and to just see some full representation, I think, on network TV.
Well,
so.
and I think like, it's weird, I think, in 2021 that people coming out is even news anymore. Like, why are we still at that point,
agree, yeah.
But also, especially for her in the position that she's in where her major clientele is moms and kids.
Yep.
She had a lot to lose by coming out. And I know, she did face some backlash by, conservative moms being like, well, I'm not going to let my kid wear their hair bows anymore and blah, blah, blah.
And she's like, fine, then don't.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want you buying my stuff anyway.
Still going to be myself. And
Yeah.
God, I think that's just such an incredible role model for kids to see, like, who might be struggling with their own sexuality and coming out and not able to express it, and then seeing like, oh, JoJo did it. Like, oh, I know. Like, I can articulate how I feel too. And I don't know.
And even just understanding, because I think,
Yeah.
some kids may know of or know kind of what it is to be gay, but they don't know someone personally who is.
Yeah, that's
and
a
they
good
feel
point.
like they know JoJo. And so now it's like they've got a friend who is. And so they become allies in that sense.
That's a
which
really
is
good
cool.
point.
Yeah. That is a cool story.
We are here for it.
All right. So you want to talk about dancing. My favorite news story of this, and I don't even know if I can call it news, but do you guys like James Corden?
No.
Okay. Do you?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Okay. Like, so James Corden to me, I feel like he's like the McDonald's of late night talk show hosts.
Oh my God.
Because everyone hates him. And yet,
We keep coming back from more Big Macs, man.
I mean, people, they sell like 8 billion burgers a day.
Yeah.
Like someone out there is lying about, because I've never heard anyone like James Corden, but his YouTube videos rack up 1 million views, So, but yeah, there was this video of him doing the Crosswalk the musical that he does.
So
Crosswalk
obnoxious.
the musical?
So-
He does, like,
Yeah,
regularly?
They like
This is a thing.
it's a bit where they like stage scenes from a musical in a crosswalk outside of his studio in
So
Los
whenever there's a
Angeles.
red light, the whole cast will run out into the street and in front of the crosswalk put on Alex. I wish everyone could just see Alex rolling his eyes just now. It's like, that is the most Caucasian thing I've ever heard.
It really is. It really is. And like, but this one is,
Sounds dangerous.
it was
Right?
him and,
Idina Menzel was there, wasn't she?
oh no, they've had a million. I
Adele
mean,
Dazeem.
they've done the one with Hugh Jackman and The Greatest Showman. And I mean, some of them are like, it was a lot funnier in the beginning before they did 30 of them. But this latest one was with Camila Cabello and Billy Porter, who are in this Cinderella Amazon
I do
Prime
like
movie.
Billy Porter.
That does sound kind of dope.
But the best part was someone took a video. They were in the car at the traffic light.
Oh no!
And so they have this close up first person video of James Corden dressed like a mouse, like humping their car.
He's like
No.
pelvic thrusting in this gray fur mouse suit.
and it just blew up all over the internet. Like everyone was like, this is my villain origin story. Like if I was stuck at a red light and Corden was humping my car, like I would lose.
It's the last thing
lose my
you see
mind.
before you die.
Someone lost their job over this. Like someone was late to work and got
In a mouse
fired
suit.
because Corden was humping their car. It was just too much. And I don't know. It was just so funny. I did not know the hatred of James Corden was so pervasive across the internet. And I'm kind of ambivalent towards him. Like some of his stuff I find funny, but I'm not like, gonna seek out his
I did
stuff.
watch his like car karaoke or whatever he calls it with Gaga, but that's because it's Gaga.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You watch his stuff because of who he's doing it with and not
Exactly.
because of him.
Yeah.
Kind of like Jimmy Fallon, I think, too.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
No one's tuning in for Jimmy Fallon anymore. You're tuning in for his guest. But I don't know. I thought that was so funny. And I just love that it just blew up all over the internet. Like, I'm like, Corden did not see that one coming.
that angle did not do him any favors.
I'm sure he saw this person with their phone like right in front of him.
It's like this
and he's like,
great
oh, this
opportunity
is
to hump.
exactly. Get this.
All of us air humping right now is so great too because no one listening can see us, but there's lots of air humping going on, dear listeners.
Oh, man. Oh, what else? What else, Alex? What else is in the news?
So Candyman came out and I've been excited for it. I haven't watched it
Oh,
yet.
I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, I want to see it because it's produced by Jordan Peele.
Yes.
I'm just, if you're a fan of his, like,
Anything he makes is just so good.
yeah. And it turns out that the director, Nia DaCosta, became the first Black woman director to have a #1 movie.
Ever?
Yeah.
What?
That's pretty dope.
I mean,
That's
that's cool,
crazy.
but at the same time, just now?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. But,
And
that's,
she's directing the Marvels too.
Oh, she is?
The Captain Marvel sequel.
Oh, that's
And
so
y'all know
cool.
me and Captain Marvel. So like I'm pumped. That's gonna be so cool.
I don't know how much it got in the box office, but to hit #1,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's pretty dope. So I want to just bring that out there.
No,
to
that's
celebrate.
awesome. I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, that's way awesome.
Okay. All right. I think we're gonna tackle this.
Okay.
You ready, Alex?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I don't hate Kanye West. We've talked about this. I liked his earlier albums a lot. I still listen to them in my car.
Those are the best ones.
Good stuff. Once he started putting on the red hat and
The political stuff.
yeah, I
Yeah.
got a little like, "Oh, I'm not gonna mess with this anymore." But God, this album, did he really have to have Marilyn Manson and DaBaby on there?
All right, so this is how I feel about that situation. So I can forgive the baby. And I say that because I feel sometimes, I can forgive the baby as long as he learns from his mistake.
yeah,
Because I feel like a lot of us say ignorant, do ignorant stuff.
especially if you're not educated on the
Exactly.
issue.
And even just like thinking about me, myself, like, in the religion I grew up in and, the environment I grew up in, even in the Dominican culture, I pretty much grew up homophobic until my early 20s.
Yeah,
And, it took me learning.
just learning about people. Yeah,
That's it. It's not even, just learning. So if the baby can show that, because have I forgiven him? No, he has to prove it first.
yeah.
But to me, he's forgivable for now. I was confused about the whole Marilyn Manson thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I saw him, like I took a picture. I was like,
why the
I like
heck
sent
is
you
he
guys like, is
here?
this Marilyn Manson? Like, is
Yeah.
this like actually happening? And I don't know. The thing is too, like, Kanye having those two there, I don't think I 100% don't feel like it's him supporting what they do.
But I feel like kind of is. He's giving them a platform. And he obviously did it for the spectacle of some commentary on cancel culture, I'm sure. But like,
I think
even
that-
Kim, I heard, had no idea Marilyn was going to be there. And she was pissed when she found out. Because she's
Yeah.
like, I don't want my name associated with that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching it, like I said, I was like confused. And
Yeah.
I don't really know much about Marilyn Manson. I didn't like hear about like his
Yeah.
like allegations until afterwards. And while
Yeah.
I was watching it, I'm like, that guy is out of place.
yeah,
He
like
does
in your
not
head,
belong
you were
there.
just like, why the heck is Marilyn
Yeah,
Manson?
and I saw there was like a moment where like he walked over to the baby and like tried to whisper something in his ear, and like the baby just totally disregarded him. Like
So weird.
no, he was like in his corner. There was like a time where Kanye and like the baby, like pretty much where Marilyn Manson was the only one just standing there awkward at the
God.
Yeah.
It's just so unnecessary. And I don't know. Like, so I think we've talked about it before when the allegations first came out, but Evan Rachel Wood in, I think, 2015 came out and said that she had been assaulted by an ex. And we all put the pieces together and knew it was Marilyn Manson. Last year, she put out a statement and she was like, yes, my abuser was Marilyn Manson. He groomed me from the time I was a teenager. He like sexually, physically, emotionally manipulated and abused me. And then other like ex-girlfriends of Marilyn Manson, Rose McGowan, came out in support. And like, I mean, everybody kind of agrees that Marilyn Manson sucks now.
Yeah.
And like, as a like goth emo kid, it's like, God,
And that's why I feel
man,
like
I loved his music too, but like, I'm not going to mess with that anymore. And sorry, what were you going to say?
no, I feel like that's a part of me feels like that was him being there was more like of a humiliation to me. Like when I was watching it, I feel like this guy's embarrassing him.
Interesting.
That's how I
an
thought
interesting
of it.
take.
Like, of
Like
course.
putting him on display, like look at these.
And the thing is, he's the
I could see that. Like, look at these two guys who suck, kind of like standing behind me. That's kind of
Because
interesting.
the thing is too, like, he has his vest on, and in one of his songs he talks about like, is this bulletproof vest is God or whatever.
That's interesting. Okay, so I didn't watch it, but I saw a lot of like commentary online and like people were theorizing about like why they were there. And like you were saying like, oh, this is like Kanye's way of saying like he can't be canceled or whatever. It's
And I
Right.
can see
That's
that
how I
too.
felt
I
with
can, I can see that too.
And so I'm like, I don't know, like on the one hand, I'm like, okay, if you take this all as like performance art or whatever, right? And so it's all just like a piece. It's all a performance. And a lot of people were like saying stuff like separate the artist from the person behind the artist. Like Kanye is a character on stage. And then other people were saying, separate the artist from their art. So like I can listen to the album and enjoy the album without liking Kanye as a person.
I don't think you can do that with Kanye.
Yeah, I mean,
his art is his life. It's like
Yeah.
a 100% reflection of like what he's living.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even in that performance, it's like Marilyn Manson was the only white guy there.
Yeah.
Like it almost is like this is what I think about you guys.
Yeah. I just,
You know,
I
like
hate,
colonizers raping this country.
yeah, no, that I could agree with, but why did it have to be
him.
Marilyn Manson? Like,
Yeah.
why did it have to be somebody who, like, sexually assaulted
Yeah.
somebody? Why does it have to be Marilyn Manson?
Yeah,
I
that
feel
I
like
can't tell you.
because that would have been a deep ass point, like
Yeah.
the colonizing and like I'm here for Kanye. Like my favorite Kanye is George Bush doesn't care about black people. Kanye,
Yeah.
that Kanye I can get down
Kanye
with.
prioritizes the black community.
Yes,
And like
and
that's
that
why I don't care he wore the red
absolutely
cap.
love.
Yeah.
But like, God, just I don't know. I'm not here for rape apologists
Yeah.
or giving a platform to terrible
Well,
people.
The thing about
yeah.
the homophobia, there's like, because of all this, there was an interview that like came out from 15 years ago, 2005, that Kanye was in with MTV News, and he's passionately like opposing homophobia in
Okay.
rap culture. And so that's why a part of me, I feel like he didn't do that to support them, because I know that he doesn't support homophobia.
It'll be. I
Interesting.
want someone to ask him the question. I want to like hear from him like why they were there. To me, it struck me as like, hey everybody, look at me, I'm controversial. And I was
Exactly.
like,
Controversy
okay.
for the sake of
Yeah.
controversy.
I believe that too. I feel
And it
like
works.
it's
We're
literally
talking about
all
it.
those.
It's true.
I feel like it has all those layers.
Yeah.
I feel like he knew all of that was going to happen.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's hard too, because like how you were saying, like, you know, DaBaby has potential to be forgiven or something. I feel like, you know, with some, we all have like the stuff that we could see like, okay, maybe I could like get on board with you at some part down the line. And then other time we're like, hell no. Like there's the unforgivable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like for me, like sexual assault is like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is the unforgivable,
That's it.
dude.
That's
Like
completely it
man.
for me too. I completely agree because there would be celebrities and I'm like, oh man, that sucked. Like even Gaga, I love her so much, but like she's done things before where I think back and I'm like, oh girl, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
And like I think that's okay to be critical of the people that we like and of the people that we respect. Like
Mhm.
I can be critical of like, I don't know, AFI, Lady Gaga, and like people that I like and people that I genuinely listen to. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to be her fan anymore, but like I can admit that she made mistakes in the past. But then there's Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah,
Get
totally.
the F out of here,
Yeah,
man.
and I think it's a difference when it's like someone says something that's like off the cuff or like offensive or whatever, like whether it was Kevin Hart or James Gunn or people like that, where you could tell maybe it was before they knew better, and like
a bad attempt at humor.
right, and you give room to grow, because like
Yeah.
heaven knows, like if you were to play back crap I said like 20 years ago,
Oh,
you'd be like,
for
you're an idiot,
sure.
you know. So
Yeah.
I get room to grow, but then when it crosses from stuff you're saying to stuff that you're doing,
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Yeah.
the difference, I think.
I did like Evan Rachel Wood this week. She's part of a musical duo called Evan and Zane, I believe. And she was performing and she sang You Get What You Give, that song from the 90s. And one of the lines is like, fashion shows with Beckin Hansen, Courtney Love, and Marilyn Manson. You're all fakes, go to your mansions. Come around, we'll kick your asses. And when it got to the Marilyn Manson part, she paused, said his name, and stuck this huge middle finger in the air. And the crowd just went wild.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was just like, yes, girl, there it is. So
Yeah.
Evan Rachel Wood stand forever. I mean, I'm also a huge Westworld fan. I love Evan Rachel Wood. I think she's just a wonderful actress, a wonderful person.
And unproblematic.
Yes.
And oh man, why can't we just have more unproblematic?
Why can't we have more unproblematic celebrities? And why can't we just believe people when they said they've been assaulted?
Totally.
Hashtag believe people. Like,
Yeah. Honestly.
very
Man.
constructive conversation. You gave me a lot to think about.
I like conversations.
Right.
Conversations are
Look
cool.
at that.
I mean, I
Well-
could get down to the red cap too, but
No, we'll save that for another day.
You're
Hopefully-
telling me
I hope
that
he burned
you,
that by some
on
point.
a podcast, like having conversations.
It's so weird. We all
Holy crap.
genuinely like talking to
I
each
never
other.
knew.
We should start a
Great.
podcast.
All right, guys. Well, I guess it's time for us to wrap up our conversation. And if you guys have supported us and enjoy, then let us know if we should start a podcast. And we can move forward with this crazy thing.
Crazy
we'll bring another
idea.
person in too.
Oh my gosh, we
I
have
am
a
just
fourth.
the person.
Yes.
Nicole.
We need a sports fanatic. All right. Well, before we close tonight, let's let everybody know where they can find us and engage in more conversations about deep or just absolutely ridiculous things. Alex, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at ALCASNUN.
Shauna?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shauna Trinidad, Shaunatrinidad.
And you can find me, Hayley, on Instagram at 30nerdythriving and on Twitter at 30nerdypod. And as always, you can find all of the information about our podcast, our merch, all of the fantastic pop culture news that you need to be aware of on our website at popculturejunkie.com. Head over to Facebook and you can join the Pop Culture Junkie support group where we post memes and polls and fantastic jokes to get you through your week. And you can find us on Twitter at popjunkies and on Instagram at pop.culturejunkie. So be sure to give us a follow on all of our socials and we'll follow you back.
Will we?
I don't know. If your feed's cool, we'll follow you back.
If you post cool stuff.
If you
we'll follow
post cool
back.
stuff.
Or if you're cute.
Thank you guys so much for listening and for supporting us and the podcast. Be sure to join us again next week for another hit of pop culture.
Pop Culture Junkie is a production of Pop Culture Entertainment Group. All rights reserved.